All right, I think we're going now. All right, no technical problems so far this evening. Cross your fingers, won't happen. We'll get a good live broadcast all the way through. All right, let me get my or my disclaimers. There we go. Let me get my disclaimers out of the way. We'll get right into it. So, hello again. This is Chris. This is a weekly live broadcast, the slightly rednecked live broadcast. I guess I'm a little scattered tonight. I need to get on track. Where was I going with that? Anyway, most Thursday evenings, 7 o'clock Central, we're here. Sometimes things get in the way. We can't make it, but most of the time, 7 o'clock Thursday evening, 7 o'clock Central. This is where I'm at doing a live broadcast. I don't have a topic planned out. I just do my best to interact with everybody that comes through on the live chat itself. I try to answer all of the live chats as long as we can. We go for about an hour. I usually finish up right around 8 o'clock Central. So this is pretty much an Ask Me Anything session. Ask me anything you want to ask me. You guys can talk with each other. If you have another YouTube comment or a video you want to recommend or something I don't care. You can post the links in here. It's fine. Doesn't bother me a bit. The only things I ask is be polite, be family friendly. Don't start cussing. Don't start calling people names, being rude, any of those kinds of things. We can disagree. We can have friendly debates. That's perfectly all right. Kind of enjoy a friendly debate every once in a while. But there's no reason to get all upset and hateful about it because somebody thinks differently than you do. So that's it. Let's get into it. So starting off, we got McLeod Family Farm here stopping by to say hi. Says, I hope we are all having a great week so far. I'm just dropping by to say hi and give a thumbs up. The family and I are super sick and I have to go, and I am sorry to hear that. Prayers for a quick recovery for your family. Thank you for stopping by, saying hi to us. I hope you guys get better very, very quickly. Who's this? Seabreeze Lewis says hi from Newport Richey, Florida. Hello to you. Good to see you. It feels like Florida here. Well, almost. We're supposed to have a high tomorrow of 76 degrees. It's a record high. 76 degrees on Christmas Eve. That doesn't sound right at all. But anyway, McLeod Family Farm, have a great night, everybody, and a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you guys. And again, I hope you get better very quickly. Seabreeze Lewis says, I'm having a terrible time with my indoor rabbit. Has fleas and he's allergic to the drops. What should I use to repel them? He has scratched his ears raw. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know what drops you're using right now to repel them, but you can go with something like, what is it they use for dogs and cats? The stuff you put on the back of their neck. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, I haven't had a flea issue in a very long time, so can't remember the name of it. Starts with an R, I believe. Somebody will probably remember it and put it in here in the comments section for us. But make sure you use the one for cats because they're the proper dosage size for the weight of that rabbit. You can try that and see if that works very well for them. I don't have a good suggestion. I've never found a way to naturally repel fleas. Once you get fleas, they're incredibly hard to get rid of. So you're going to have to be it's an inside rabbit, so you're going to have to be really diligent about, you treat the rabbit, but then you also maybe, bug bomb the house, vacuum it again the next day and the next day after that, and just stay on top of that and empty your vacuum bag outside into the outside garbage because it's one thing to kill the fleas. It's another thing to get rid of all the eggs. That's the hard part. You're going to have to stay on top of that, be very diligent, wash and dry everything you have. Just to make sure you don't have anything in there. That's the best suggestions I can get. It's going to be a huge pain. I wish I had a better suggestion, but goes on to say he's shaking his head. He has olive oil on them and now running a fever. So he's on antibiotics for an infection. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I wish I had a better answer for you, but I just don't, unfortunately. All right, how are we doing on sound quality? Is it all good? Am I yelling? Am I talking too loud? Anything like that? Let me know in the comments or in the chat if we're coming through at the right volume, because I have a tendency to yell. Frontier or Advantage. I knew somebody would come up with that. Yeah, sounds fine. Good. Okay. So I catch myself talking very loud sometimes, and I think, oh my gosh, I'm yelling at the microphone. It's from years of being on conference calls where people couldn't hear me, and I had to speak loud. I don't talk that loud in person. I just do it whenever I'm on a live broadcast or on a conference call. All right, Jasmine Bass is here. Good to see you, Jasmine. I feel like I know you now. We kind of got introduced face-to-face in a sense, virtually anyway, so feel like I know you. But it says, hey, hello, Chris and friends, tuning in from Crane, Missouri. I missed your live on Tuesday on Katernik's Corner, but caught the replay. I was teaching a friend how to process quail as she is ready to add them to her homestead. Well, that's a good reason to miss it. So thanks for tuning in tonight, though. We appreciate it. 12 gauge. Hey, Chris, and all from Mountain View, Arkansas. Hope everyone is doing well this evening. Thank you. We are, or I am. I hope you are too. Give me 1 second. Let me respond. Sorry, my sister texting me about things she can bring to Christmas dinner. I host Christmas dinner here, so I got to do a bunch of cooking. I missed that. Okay, 12 gauge, I hope you're doing well too. Thank you for joining the live broadcast tonight. Jasmine, I have a broody Coturnix hen in my aviary. We were talking about that on Coturnix Corner if they ever go broody. Chicks are due to hatch on Christmas Day. Thankfully, the weather will be warmer. Also, one of my New Zealand does is due to have her babies on Christmas Day too. You got a lot going on. Good luck with all that. I hope it works out well, and congratulations on a broody Coturnix hen. That doesn't happen very often. Somebody asked about that on the Coturnix Corner live broadcast, if the quail ever go broody or if it's been bred out of them. And my answer was, well, I don't think it's been bred out of them. It's rare for them to go broody. But I think it has more to do with environment than anything. And if they were going to go broody, it's probably going to be in like an aviary style setup where they have lots more room and they're on the ground and they have, kind of natural environment around them, as opposed to in the cages like what I keep them in. So I guess I was right on that. Good to hear that. Okay, hang on. I'm sorry. My sister is texting me. That's probably all of it. Sorry about that, guys. It's very rude of me, I know. Katrina from Gilroy, California. Good to see you. Jasmine Bass says, thanks for your tip on the offering hay or straw. So to she when the rabbit doe is yeah, okay. So thanks for the tip for offering hay or straw to the rabbit and to figure out when she's ready to start nesting. I saw her holding hay in her mouth and I realized that was her signal to me. I'm so excited. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. That is a surefire way. When they start hay stashing like that, time to put the nest box in. They're ready to go. Chances are you're going to have them any day. I mean, like you said, she's due on Christmas Day. My rabbit tends to not build her nest until maybe a day, 2 days at the most before she has her babies. So I'd keep an eye on her. Hey, look at that. Katrina has a broody hen too. Says, didn't collect on eggs on the 20th and the 21st. She was on the nest of eggs. Checked on her last night and this morning, and she is definitely incubating. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Hopefully it goes well. Hello to you, Katrina. Oh, wait, you were saying hi to somebody else, I think. Laura Shell Farms here. Good evening to you guys. Thanks for joining. Jasmine says, very cool. I candled my hens on day 9, my hens' eggs on day 9, and they look to be developing well. But we shall see if she's done a good job sitting on it or not. It will be a fun experience. I have had a backup brooder just in case. There you go. Sounds like a fun experiment. I'm kind of curious to see how they turn out. You're gonna have to let us know. Laura Shell Farm says Chris is pulling a lot of YouTube shifts this week. Well, in a way, yeah, I didn't get any videos out this week, but this is my 3rd live broadcast for the week. So yeah, I guess I am pulling a lot of shifts this week. Jeff, Katrina says to Katrina, I have been in the Garlic Fest a few times in the 90s. Had fun. What? The Garlic Fest? I'm not sure what the Garlic Fest is, but okay. Anyway, I'm going to skip a couple of these where you guys are talking to each other. I'll let you guys talk. Toast, why not? Says, hello, Chris. Hello to you. Thanks for joining. Robert Lee, Merry Christmas to you as well. And Jesse Mills, good evening to you. Hey, Coturnix Corner is here. Says, hello, Chris. Merry Christmas to you and everyone here. Thanks for guesting on Coturnix Corner. You're absolutely welcome. And thanks again for inviting me. I always appreciate it. Hello to you, Robert. Good to see you. Merry Christmas to you. Let's see. Jasmine, it started off with just one hen, and then one of my jumbo pharaohs tag teamed for 2 days. Original hen tapped out, and the pharaoh hen is following through to the end. Yeah, that's nice to see. They're probably not all her eggs either, so you got 2 hens that kind of went broody there. Lisa says, I have 26 coil in a walk-in aviary. 26 coil. Maybe that's 26 eggs. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway. Or quail. I bet that's what it is. I have 26 quail in a walk-in aviary, and 2 of them have gone broody. Nice. Should I separate them and keep them in their own area, or is it okay for them to be where they are with everyone else? Boy, that's a good question. I don't know if there's any reason to separate them. I really don't know the answer to that because I've never had a hen go broody. I don't raise them in an aviary style setting. I would think that if they went broody there, they're comfortable enough there that it's probably okay to just leave them there. But, if it's going to make you feel more comfortable, you can try separating them out. My only concern with that is if you were to try to separate them out and, like, I don't know where you're going to put them. So if you put them in like a wire cage or something like that, then they may lose that broodiness because they may not be comfortable. I think if it was me, I'd just leave them there and see how they did. But I don't know if that's the right answer or not. Who's that? Bags of Love. Merry Christmas to you from North Carolina. Thanks for joining. Robert, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You too, man. Thank you very much. Katrina says all 20 of our baby bunnies are doing great. We have their next homes set up, except we need to revamp an old double-decker big rabbit hutch, which we will do before we need the space. Sounds fun. So 20 baby rabbits. Congratulations on that. I'm glad that that's working out well for you. And I know how it is to have projects to get done. Robert, at what age do you separate your bunnies from their mama? Oh, good question. It kind of depends really. If they're like my current doe, and I'm not really breeding her anymore because she's aged out, but my current doe, her babies grow out incredibly slow. So you're looking at probably 12 weeks before they ever get to processing size. In that case, somewhere around 6 to 7 weeks old is typically whenever I separate them off the mom. Now, I've had other does where their babies grow out 8, 9 weeks right at, and I just leave them with the mom because there's no sense in separating them out if they're going to grow out to 8, 9 weeks. I mean, it's only another week or two. So I usually just leave them in the cage with their mom. Don't bother separating them. But if you want to separate them out, don't do it before 6 weeks. Do it only 6 weeks or older. That's kind of the acceptable time there. They should fully be weaned by 6 weeks. They're probably fully weaned really a little bit before that, but just to be safe, you always wait until they're at least 6 weeks old. What I typically do is I'll move half of them off, and then I'll wait like 2 days and move the other half of them off. And that gives the mom a little bit of a chance to kind of start drying up and not all of a sudden no babies. Hopefully that makes sense. Hey, Verna's here. Good to see you, Verna. Thanks for joining. Jesse, Merry Christmas to you too. Whiskey Tango Farms is here. Says, good evening, Chris and everyone. Merry Christmas from Wisconsin. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you guys too. And Merry Christmas to you as well, Verna. She says, Merry Christmas and blessed Yule. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, Toast. Why not? Robert Lee says, Dawn dish soap works for fleas. There you go. That's a good suggestion. Paul Murray, Merry Christmas from Ontario. Merry Christmas to you. Let's see. We got a couple people talking to each other. And Seabreeze says, thank you, Chris. Merry Christmas. You're absolutely welcome, and Merry Christmas to you. I scrolled too far. Sometimes, we got a lot of comments. I got to move. Sometimes I hit the mouse wheel to scroll down, and it just shoots down like a couple of pages. Sorry, getting through things. Oh, there we go. Everything is great. Good. Glad to hear that. That's Whiskey Tango Farm. What was that? That was a weird sound. Don't know what that was, but okay. Lisa says, P.S. I'm in Southern California also, and any other suggestions for feed once the chicks hatch, and any other suggestions for quail raised babies? Okay. I don't know if you're talking to somebody specific or me. I don't know what the P.S. means. I'm losing track here. Anyway, as far as okay, so as far as any suggestions for when the quail babies hatch, as long as you watch the mother pretty closely, as she's still cuddling, snuggling with them and keeping them warm and those kinds of things, you should be fine. You shouldn't have to do anything special with feed. I feed all my birds a game bird starter. So if you're not feeding a game bird starter, you may need to introduce some of that so they'll have access to it, but they'll start eating the feed. You may have to get a different feeder if they can't reach the current feeder that the adults eat out of. You may have to get a different feeder for them. If you really want to, if you want to make sure there's just nothing happens to them and they make it through, then you can remove them, put them in a brooder box with a heat lamp, keep it about 100 degrees, just like you would if they were coming out of the incubator. But you don't have to do anything special for the food. I use a game bird starter crumble. I feed that to all my birds, and I feed it right to the babies. As soon as they come out of the incubator, that's what they start eating. So you don't have to crunch it up. You don't have to grind it. You don't have to do anything special with it. Is if you're feeding that to all your other birds, then chances are they'll find that food themselves and they'll start eating it. No problems whatsoever. I'd be curious to see if the mother continues to take care of them. So she's not going to do a lot to take care of them, but she will provide them with heat. So if you can watch her pretty closely and see if all the babies are snuggled together and the mother's not going anywhere near them, that may be a kind of a cautionary sign. Like I said, I've never actually had this happen before, so I don't know. If she's going to take care of them and provide them with the heat or not. It's something to kind of watch and be interesting to see. Ed says, did you ever bag a deer yet? No, he keeps asking me that. No, I have not. I actually haven't been out in the last 2 weeks. I went out 2 weekends ago. I didn't go out last weekend. I went out the weekend before for an evening hunt on a Saturday evening. And I did have a deer come through the woods. I think I told this story. Had a deer come in through the woods. It was a pretty nice sized buck. But he came out. I was sitting up against a tree, just exposed, to the world. I mean, everything. He had to have seen me. He came out of the woods. I mean, straight at me, just looking straight at me. So I couldn't move. I was just kind of frozen there. And he stopped behind a tree, and I couldn't see him, but I couldn't move because I couldn't tell if he could see part of me or anything like that. So I had to sit there and wait for what seemed like forever. It was actually probably 3 or 4 minutes. He stood there for a very long time, and then he walked off through the woods. I got it's bow season, so I'm hunting with the crossbow. Got my crossbow up and on him, but he never turned broadside. He wouldn't stop, and he didn't turn broadside, and he just walked off through the woods. All I could see was his back end, so it just wasn't, couldn't take a shot. But I got another couple of weeks left in deer season. I might get back out. I'm going to try to. It's just hard to find time. All right. Excuse me. Freedom Quail Farm says, my toddler's Christmas surprise tomorrow is her first pet, 2 mini Rex does, 4-month-old, and they decided not to show them since they had blue eyes and were larger than the desired. Could I breed them with my California buck for near, I think there's more to that, for near meat? They're mini Rexes. I don't know if I would or not, but if they're in similar size, it's okay. Go ahead and breed them if you want to. You're probably not going to get the absolute best results out of them, but there's nothing wrong with that. You can breed any rabbit you want to for meat. But if they are significantly smaller than your California, I don't think I would do that. But you said they are bigger than the standard size. Now, mini Rexes, though, usually are pretty small. So bigger than the regular size mini Rex. I don't know how big that is. So you're just going to have to kind of judge that. A California buck's probably going to be around 9 pounds. If they only come in at 5 pounds, I don't think I would breed them. But if they come in at 7 or 8, yeah, go ahead. Why not? Give it a try and see how it works. Where we at here? Carmen says, since the rabbit is inside, make sure to treat your house as well. Yeah, I agree. You're talking about the fleas. Yeah, that's going to be the hard part. Is you might get rid of them on the rabbit, but you're going to have to do a lot of work on the house to get rid of them. So Seabreeze says, have a Merry Christmas, everybody, and a safe New Year. God bless everybody. I hope to get the sick rabbit. Oh, I have to go. The sick rabbit is calling me. Well, good luck with that. I hope it works out. And that's a chore, I know. All right. So Swanson said, did Chris say he was hosting us for Christmas dinner? Huh? I wish I could. That would be awesome. Everybody get together for Christmas dinner at my house. But no, I don't think I can. I don't have that big of a turkey, and I don't have that much room to fit everybody here. Otherwise, I would be happy to do it. That would be awesome. Verna says, yeah, because if you can make it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because if you can make it there, that's what she says. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Robert says, hey, from Jacksonville, Florida. Good to see you, Robert. Thanks for joining. All right, here's a question from Laura Shell Farm. Chris, any chance that the wife got you some pedigree rabbits as a present? I kind of doubt it. That would be nice, but no, I don't think so. If she did, they're in boxes wrapped up, and they would not be doing very well at this point, I'm sure. I got a story to tell you guys real quick about my Christmas present to my wife. So she wanted I may have told this story, I don't know, but either way, you can hear it. She had one of the things she had on her list. She has an Amazon wish list, and I looked at it, and one of the things she has on that wish list was a Cricut Maker 3. Now, I don't know what that is exactly, but it's some kind of craft thing, and a lot of you guys probably already know what it is. So I decided, well, I'm going to buy that for her. It's kind of expensive, but I thought, she doesn't really get a lot of nice. She always buys me nice gifts. I kind of splurged on myself a couple of times this year, bought a couple of new lenses. I run a little side business for photography. So, they're tax write-offs, and I made some money back on them already on a couple of photography jobs I did. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, she deserves a nice kind of expensive gift. She doesn't get them very often. So I took a little bit of money I had saved up and bought her this Cricut Maker 3. I bought the bundle. So it was like the Cricut Maker 3 and this everything materials bundle or whatever. And it was like $500. It was expensive. So I was excited about this. This is going to be a great gift, right? So anyway, the shipping, it's set to come in like on a Wednesday or something. And I'm looking at it. This was right after she had hernia surgery and she was at home working or recovering from surgery. And it was supposed to come like a week and a half later. And I was like, she's going to be back at work, or it was going to be like the next week or something. So she took a week off to recover and then another 2 days. So she was going to go back to work the following Tuesday or something. And it was supposed to come like Wednesday or Thursday. So I was like, that'll be fine. It's going to come while she's at work. Well, one of the boxes came and I was able to get it. It came a little bit early, but I was able to get it, put it away, and she didn't catch it. It was the materials part of it or whatever. So she doesn't know about that unless she's watching the live broadcast. Oh, no, I shouldn't have said that. She's not. So it's okay. She doesn't watch them. And then the other box, though, it came. She ended up needing more time to recover because it was pretty serious, hernia surgery. So she ended up taking a couple extra days off work, and it got delivered while she was home recovering, and I was at work. So she answered the door, when the delivery man showed up and brought it in, and it says clearly on the box, Cricut Maker 3. So that surprise was ruined. She already knows what she gets, but she wouldn't open it up. I told her she's doing all these craft things for people for Christmas. And I said, go ahead and open it and use it if you want to, if it's going to help you with your craft stuff. She said, no, I'll wait till Christmas. She wouldn't open it up. So yeah, that is ruined. Not all of it, I guess. She's still got the materials bundle thing to open that she doesn't know about. But all right. Lisa says, let's see, chicks are due New Year's Day. Awesome. Well, good luck. I hope it works out. I hope it does well. I had chicks hatch, let's see, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I think it was. When was I? Wasn't yesterday? It was not the day before. Yeah, it was, what is today? Thursday? So Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, the chicks started hatching from Whiskey Tango Farms, the ones that Ed sent. Ed Got Bait donated eggs to me. So I had 60 eggs set. I think Ed Got Bait bought me 30, and then Whiskey Tango Farms threw in another 30. 60 eggs set. They were in the mail for over a week, and I got 43 hatched out of them so far. There may be a chance that another couple of them will hatch. So not bad. Not bad for a long delayed shipping. All right, Jason. Let's see. Hey, Chris, hope you and your family have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Stay blessed. Thanks for all your videos. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And hope you have a great Christmas as well. Ed says, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Let's see. Robert says, love the channel. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much. Hello, TUF&P Farms. My Shire Farms is here. Says, we've been seeing you a lot this week. Yeah, we have, haven't we? Hopefully that's not a bad thing. Says, Chris, we got your card and we appreciate you. Merry Christmas. Well, thank you so much. And I'm glad you got the card. It was actually my wife that sent the card. I'm terrible about sending Christmas cards. I never do it. I never send them out. I don't know why. It's just, I didn't grow up doing that stuff. It wasn't a tradition that I did when I was a kid. So I don't even think about it. And then I get Christmas cards from other people and I feel bad because I never send them out. But my wife got your card. So thank you for your card. I appreciate that. That was a very nice gesture. I forgot. I was going to reach out and tell you that, and I forgot. But my wife put a card together and sent it out to you guys. So it comes from me too, because I really mean it. But it was actually, you can thank my wife because she's the one that actually did it. That was bad. I probably shouldn't have said all that. Huh? But anyway, let's see. Jeremy says, when raising quail, I have a tendency to have males start fighting each other. When raising quail, I have a tendency to have males start fighting each other. I know ahead and separate them from the females, and they're still fighting. What do you normally do with these grow outs? Eat them? Yeah, if I have an overabundance of males, yeah, usually the extra ones go in the freezer camp. That's just how it is. Excuse me. Clear my throat here. There are a couple of things you can do to try to keep the fighting down. I usually don't have that many problems with them. My quail are fairly docile, and that's one of the reasons that I really like I mean, I really like the birds that I have right now. I don't have too many problems with them fighting or any of that aggression or any of those kinds of things. And I believe that that can be bred in or bred out of them. So if you're having huge problems with it, you might look at getting some new blood into your flock. You know, my Shire's here. Zach's got a great selection of eggs. So, you know, you might order some eggs, get some new blood into your flock. Other things you can do, though, the reason they're fighting is because they're probably just coming of age. They're starting to crow. That means their hormones are going. They're ready to breed. So those hormones, think of them as like a teenager. They've just got all this energy built up, and they're going to start picking on each other and fighting over territory. It's a pretty natural thing for that to occur. A couple of things you can do is make sure they're not anywhere near the hens. You can kind of isolate them from the hens. That'll help cut down on that a little bit. And the other thing is cut the amount of light down that they're getting. Try to get it under about 12 hours a day. If you can get it under 12 hours a day, or even 10 hours a day would be better. Then they're gonna start going out of breeding mode, and they're gonna be a little less aggressive, a little bit easier to handle. Other than that, like you said, just eat the extra roosters. That's pretty much it. Toast, why not? Says, hey Chris, just wondered if you have grown strawberries before. I want to know, or I want to grow some next summer, but I kind of don't know where to start. Yeah, we actually have a strawberry bed. We don't get a lot of strawberries out of it because the rabbits and the turtles love strawberries. But yeah, we have a strawberry bed. I can't say I'm an expert on growing strawberries, but they're not that hard to grow. So what we did is we put several in the bed, and what's going to happen is they're going to throw off runners, and those runners will be like next year's plants. They'll produce the next year. They're perennial, so they'll come back year after year after year. There is some, let's see, what are you supposed to do with strawberries? I don't ever do it. I just let them go, and we get strawberries out of them. It's not that hard. But so I don't know if I have any great tips on growing strawberries for you. We do have, like I said, we have some, but I really don't do anything with them. They just grow. I mean, they're just there. So I don't prune them. I don't, nothing. There is some thought. It seems like it was, if I remember right, you're going to have to look this up to verify it, because again, I'm not an expert on strawberries, but they throw out the runners. Those are the next year's plants. And after the first year produces, it seems like they want you to pull those out of the ground. But I don't do that. I just leave them in there. So I don't know. That doesn't help you at all. And I'm sorry. I wish I could. But, strawberries are not my expertise. All right. Katrina says he was talking about the Gilroy Garlic Festival annual until recently. It's the largest garlic festival in the world, and it's in Gilroy. Gilroy, is that like North Carolina, South Carolina? I can't remember. I know I've heard it. Seems right. Okay, interesting. I like garlic a lot. Maybe I'll try to make it sometime. Garlic Fest is a big garlic bash in Gilroy, California. There we go. Garlic everything. That sounds like a pretty cool event, actually. Yeah, Ed says, garlic. Yeah, me too. Katrina says, I have one experience with a broody hen. I didn't separate them out. My hen enlisted 4 others that shared the brooding with her after a few days into the incubation, so I would leave it. There you go. There's a good answer. I know that I throw, in the summertime especially, I throw like 2-3 week old birds into my hutch with all my adult quail, and I never have problems with them. They're always getting along just fine. So it makes sense that the other birds would kind of gather together and help her. Katrina says, including garlic ice cream, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, that doesn't sound all that good actually, but I'd try it. I am a big garlic fan, so. My Shire says, hello, everyone. Chris, I'm going to redo our aviary for meat rabbits this coming year. The big question is, should I wire the bottom so they cannot burrow or dig outside of it and wire it? Yeah, that's a good question. So you're going to keep your rabbits in an aviary style, like a big on the ground kind of thing. Yeah, I'd put wire underneath it. And it's definitely to keep the rabbits in and to keep anything else out. That would be suggested for sure, because rabbits will dig, and they'll dig pretty good. So you could just put like a wire cage on the ground. The grass will still grow up through that. But if you want to give them access to the ground and let them dig a little bit, then yeah, I'd bury wire down probably about 2 feet. It's going to be you need it pretty deep, because they will dig and burrow underneath that stuff. If you don't do that, you're going to end up with rabbits getting out and they're going to be gone, or something else is going to get in and eat the rabbits, one or the other. Katrina, Verna says garlic and blue cheese ice cream. Oh, that sounds disgusting. Katrina says not a blue cheese fan. I do like blue cheese quite a bit, but not. I don't think it would be good in ice cream. Okay, let's go on. Let's move. Casey, hello everyone. Merry Christmas and to all, and God bless. God bless you as well, and Merry Christmas to you. Toastworthy, or toast, why not? There we go. I'm so not used to the cold. It's getting in the 30s, and I still have some more rabbit cages to build. How cold is it where you are? Well, tomorrow it's going to be 76 degrees, so it has not been cold here. We've gotten, we had the first 3 days of the week. It was. I mean, we had frost on the windshields and stuff in the morning. It was pretty chilly out, but it's warmed up since then, and it's been in the, like today, I think it was, I don't know, 50 degrees, 55 degrees. It was maybe even got up to 60. I don't know. It was pretty mild, pretty mellow. Tomorrow is supposed to be 76, and I think Christmas Day is supposed to be 65. And then we got a chance of snow coming next weekend. So I think we're getting ready to get into winter. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's a shock when it first comes on, that's for sure. Hello to you, Sage Wolf. Good to see you. Robert says, take a pan, fill with Dawn and soapy water, put on the floor. Fleas will jump in it and drown. Well, there you go. Try that out and see. That's for, dealing with your fleas. I don't think they're here anymore. I think they left, but thank you for the suggestion. The Lower Shell Farm says, Chris, you don't experience any soft shells by not providing layer. No. Quail need about 1.5 to 2% calcium in their diet, and that Game Bird starter has a 1. The one I'm using has like a minimum of a 1.5% calcium, and I've never have a problem with that. Now, occasionally I'll get a soft shell or a shellless egg when the birds first start laying. That's pretty common, though. That's not a sign of low calcium or anything necessarily. But when they first start laying, they're going to throw some weird eggs. You're going to get little bitty eggs. You're going to get great big double yolk eggs, eggs without a shell, some of those weird kinds of things. It takes them a little while to kind of get into the groove of things. But no, I don't have any problems with shellless eggs or low shells or soft shells or any of those kinds of things. One thing I would caution you about is just jumping too quick to correct those issues if you find them. It's not always an issue. Sometimes it's just, quail are going to lay a weird egg every once in a while. And if it's not a consistent thing, it's not really a sign that there's an ongoing issue. And if you are going to add calcium, add it as a separate container. Don't mix it in with their feed. If you're going to add calcium, it's going to be probably like crushed oyster shell or something like that. Or, you can take their egg shells, bake them, and crumble them up and use those too. But don't add it as part of their feed. Add it in a separate container. They'll eat as much as they need of it, just naturally. But if you mix it in with their feed, they don't have a choice. It's going to get mixed in with their feed. They're going to eat it anyway. And too much calcium in their diet can be a bad thing as well. You can affect your hatch rates quite a bit because it can make for thicker egg shells, make it hard for the chicks to pip and get out of the egg. And it can lead to all kinds of bone issues and things like that too. So you really want to be cautious with trying to add extra calcium. If your feed is a 1.5 to 2% calcium, or up to about, I'd say 3% would probably be about the max, then you probably don't need to add calcium. If you have any kind of egg problems, just give it a few times and see if it's a continuing issue or not. I never have any issues. If I do get a soft egg, it's rare that I ever get a shellless egg or a soft shelled egg or anything like that. If I get one, it's usually just one, maybe two, and then I don't get one anymore. So it's not a big deal. Katrina says, once hatched in the aviary, you need to make sure that they can reach the feed and water. That's a good point. I put the same feed and water that I put in the brooder into the aviary, and it worked just fine. Mama is the heat. Yep, absolutely. That makes sense. Katrina says the babies will chase down mom and shove themselves under her feathers. Super funny and cute. Katronics Corner says, question, Chris, what is Carnes Critters? Oh, I don't know how you found that, but that is my family's Facebook group that we use for like our family reunions and those kinds of things. It's just, which is kind of strange because I'm really the only Carnes in the family. I've got one cousin that's also named Carnes, but that's it. Just one. I'm the last one. And, but anyway, we are from the Carnes family, and that's what we use to communicate, like a family reunion, family gatherings, those kinds of things. I don't know why they called it Carnes Critters. I didn't set it up. But that's it. All right, we got a couple of people talking to each other, I think. And then Robert says in an oven, like 4 inches. Oh, I think you're talking about the, yeah, I think you're talking about the flea deterrent thing there. Okay. Where we at here? Brittany says, can you rebreed within days of a doe giving birth? You can. Yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm assuming you lost a litter or something like that, because it wouldn't be a good idea to rebreed a rabbit just days after she gave birth when she's still nursing the current litter. I would give her a little bit of time. Now, if she lost a litter and you want to rebreed her because of whatever reason the litter would, died, that whatever, I'd give her maybe a week to recover and then go ahead and rebreed her. But yes, you can go ahead and do that pretty much as soon as you want to. Let's see, Wendy Flint. There we go. Setting our first Coturnix eggs and using the quail turner, but some of the eggs don't fit well. We removed every other rail so they won't hit each other. What rails do you work best for jumbos? I have a little giant incubator and I use it with the quail rails. In fact, I got my egg turner right here. Let me grab it real quick because it just got done using it. And this is my egg turner. I've never found it necessary to remove rails, but sometimes what I'll do, because I will get bigger eggs they don't fit real well, but they fit. And I don't worry about it. I mean, if they rock up against each other, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But I do try to place the extra big ones, like towards the edges where they may not be an issue of, really banging too much on the other ones. But yeah, those are the ones I use. They work pretty well. Sorry, let me put that up. There we go, back. So those are the ones I use. They work pretty well, and I don't have really many issues with that. You depending on how many eggs you're incubating, you can use the chicken egg turners for those. But I've never found it necessary. You don't get as many eggs in there either, because the chicken egg turners, there's only I don't remember how many it is, but maybe 6 per row or something like that. So they don't hold nearly as many eggs. But if you're removing every other rail anyway, you're still probably getting more eggs out of the quail egg turners. Yeah, quail eggs are getting bigger. I think when they developed those, designed those quail egg turners, they were just standard size quail around and they weren't jumbos. So I do occasionally have an egg that's too big to really fit comfortably in there, but it still sits in there, and that's all it's got to do is sit in there. It'll be fine. Verna says, we had one that had a blue light to attract fleas. I don't know if you can still get them. Okay, that's a quail trap. Jasmine has a question, says, I still use the large totes as a brooder, similar to yours. Are you still happy using the totes, heat lamps for your brooders? Any improvements that you'd make? That's still what I use as well. I think, ideally what I'd like to be able to get into is build a secondary brooder with a wire floor on it, similar to what like Coturnix Corner is built, or Dale's Quail has brooders available. I like the idea of a wire floor and a dropping pan underneath to let the droppings fall through, make a lot easier cleanup. The brooder works, the plastic tote brooder works great. And I just line it with paper towels. It works great for like a week. And then it becomes to where it's just like, you almost have to clean it every day, because by that time they're so big, there's so much waste that it becomes a real chore to keep up with. And I think I'd like to switch them out that time to a larger, put them in the smaller, or the plastic brooder itself for like a week, let them get a little bit bigger, be able to handle that wire floor a little bit better, and then move them to a small, maybe 1/4 inch wire flooring brooder box after that. That would be my thought on that, but I haven't done that yet. Right now, they're still just brooding in the plastic, and it works well. The good thing about it is it's cheap. So I have 2 boxes. So when it does start to get to a point where it's getting to be a pain to clean it out, I just bring the other box in and I end up, switching them out. I just move the birds to the other box, take the other box outside, dump it in the compost pile, rinse it out, let it dry, and then, do the process all over again. And it's not too hard. It works pretty well. Jennifer says, have a wonderful holiday, all. You too. I hope you have a great holiday. Ed says, Chris, is that baby quail I hear chirping? Yeah, absolutely. They're in the brooder box right over here. I lost 4 of them in the brooders, so I'm down to what I had 42 hatch. I lost 4, so what's that make it? 38? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. 38 birds. And thank you again, by the way, for donating those eggs. That was very kind. All right, grab a drink here, get going again. Jay Moore says, I thought I heard chirping. You do. Yep. 12 gauge says quail eggs are very hardy in shipping, so congrats on that hatch, Chris. Well, thank you very much. Ed says, wow, nice hatch rate. There we go. I'm way behind on comments. You guys are way ahead of me. Says, wow, nice hatch rate. Congratulations to you and Whiskey Tango Farms. No thanks to the UPS. Yeah, well, it's that, or the USPS. Yeah, it's that time of year. I mean, the shipping's slow everywhere right now. Katrina says, I'll be putting together a video on my YouTube channel. Sow and Tear, I think is what it is. Is it Sow and Tear? Sow and Tear. I don't remember now. Anyway, about my broody quail that will come out on Christmas. She started incubating on either December 20th or 21st. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. I remember looking up your channel once before, so I've still got it. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for that and check that out. Jake says, do you use a red light or a white light in your quail brooder box? You guys can't see the red light over there on the kind of shining on the wall. It's a red light. I use a red one. I don't think it really matters, honestly. I do, but Verna says she just subscribed to Laura Shell Family Farm. Awesome. Everybody should do that. Everybody should subscribe to everybody else's YouTube channels. Katrina says, wait, you have turtles? No, I don't have turtles. What? Oh, you're talking about turtles and the strawberries. Well, yeah, we have wild turtles. I mean, box turtles. Turtles love strawberries, and they'll get in there and eat strawberries too. Not only that, but the slugs and the snails are pretty bad about it too. But I don't keep turtles as pets or anything. Casey's Outdoors says, just hatched out 69 baby quail out of 100. Last one came out yesterday, waiting on my share eggs coming in a week or two. Awesome. 69 out of 100. So right at a 70% hatch rate, 69% actually, but real rounded up. That's pretty good. So good job. All right. A bunch of people talking to each. Oh no, what happened here? Scrolled too far again. All right. Laura Shell says the J hook as the water bottle holder system seems to be something that most people liked a lot. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're talking about your video on the, okay, got it. I'll have to check that out because I'm not sure what you're talking about. My share says we're thinking that we would wire from side to side to let them dig. Otherwise, we would have an issue finding the babies. Two, I feel, but I don't know. Oh, you want to let them dig, or otherwise we would have an issue finding the babies too, I feel, but I don't know. Yeah, you might. I don't know if that's going to be a big, I don't know how big this area is going to be, but yeah, they'll definitely dig a burrow for the babies. Now, the good thing is that, I mean, as long as they're decent rabbits, they're going to probably take care of the babies just fine. The only bad thing is going to be is if you have like a rabbit that has litters and they pass away, the litter does, and it's inside a burrow, you may not even know it. But they'll dig burrows, they'll dig holes, they'll have their babies down in there. And then when babies are ready, they'll just come out. You'll just see them coming out all of a sudden. It'll be kind of a cool thing. But yeah, you might have a difficulty knowing when the babies are born. Linda says, just got my chores done. MA2 is here. I don't know what that means, but thanks for joining. Let's see what Katrina says to you. My Shire Farm. She says to My Shire Farm, maybe you could dig a super deep trench all the way around the outside and fill it with cement, then put the bottom part of the wire for the walls into the cement. That would work. Well, yeah, that probably would work. That's fairly permanent. I don't know if you want to put cement in there, but it would probably work. I don't see why not. Gary says, good evening, Chris. Merry Christmas to everyone. I have 33 of my Shire chicks going in 2 weeks in the brooder. Awesome. I'm sure you're going to get great results from that. And good evening to you too. Let's see. Linda says, hello, Cat. M-A-C-G. Ma sees you. I don't know what that's all about, but okay. 12 gauge says, I just feed all my eggshells back to the birds and have never had any issues. Yeah, you probably won't. That's probably fine. You can do that for sure. Verna says, did you know that if you crush your eggshells and add some to the coffee, it takes out the bitterness? I didn't know that, but since I don't drink coffee, I don't know that that's very helpful for me, but thank you. Jeremy Daniel says, Merry Christmas and thank you for all your help and advice. You have a good one. Thanks again. Well, awesome. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that I have been a help for you. Katrina's not a fan of coffee either. I thought I was the only one. Jasmine says, I use the same egg roller trays and they have worked well for me too. Okay. I don't know which ones those are, but I'll have to check it out later. Hey, Boris, good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right. Katrina says, someone posted on Newbie Quail Lovers today and yesterday someone posted on Newbie Quail Lovers today or yesterday that hold bigger eggs. They posted rails that will hold bigger eggs. It was red. I don't remember the kind though. Interesting. I'll have to look through and see if I can find that. All right. Let's see. 12 gauge. I've been using a little giant incubator for years and have always turned my eggs manually. Never had any issues. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with turning your eggs manually. It's really not that hard to do. I'm kind of lazy and I'm kind of busy. So I just use the egg turner. It works well. But yeah, if you want to turn your eggs manually, it's not that hard. Just put them in the bottom of the incubator, open it up a couple of times a day and just kind of roll the eggs around. Not aggressively, but you just kind of roll them around a little bit. That's all you got to do. Just do that a couple of times a day and you'll be fine. Good night to you, Robert. Good to see you. Are we getting close to time? No, we're doing fine. We got 15 minutes left. Verna drinks a pot or two of coffee a day. Wow. I can't judge though, because I go through the soda. I'm a soda pop junkie. My Secret Santa at work gave me a 12-pack of Pepsi. I don't even know who it was. Wendy says, thanks, Chris. You're absolutely welcome. Verna says, 54 watching, only 35 likes. Come on, people, give Chris your support. Well, thank you, Verna. I appreciate that. Sage Wolf says, question, what size tote do you recommend for a brooder? Well, let's see. What size is that one? It's pretty big. I don't remember what size it is. As big a one as you can get, I guess. I use the clear-sided tote. I can't turn the camera because I'll lose everything. It's mounted right here. I can't take it off to show you, but you know what I can do is I can probably pick the tote up and show you. This is the tote I use. We'll see if I can pick it up without spilling everything. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you can see that or not. There is the tote that I use. It's big Sterilite, I think is the brand. Clear one so I can see through it. It doesn't have to be clear, but it's kind of nice to be able to see in there. But then again, it's kind of not nice to be able to see in there sometimes too, because hang on. I don't know if you guys can hear any of that. That's the tote that I use for my brooder. I've got two of them, the same size. I don't know what size that is. I don't remember. It is in a way. I like the clear ones because you can see through it, but at the same time, it's kind of bad to see through it because quail have a bad habit when they're babies, especially, to sleep on their backs with their legs sticking straight up in the air. And you just swear that they're dead every time you come in here. Katrina has to explain that to me again. So, as in planting things. You've told me that before. I'm sorry. I know that. I just can't ever remember. Hello to you, Sue. Good to see you. Oh, okay. Katrina's Corner says, I saw the t-shirt, Con's Critters, you saw where you were wearing on your Facebook page. Yeah, my personal page. That was at a family reunion, actually. That was it's kind of funny. That picture that you probably saw was all of us, like my cousins and I, all lined up in a row. We were recreating a picture we took when we were kids. I was probably 8 years old, maybe at the time, where we had us all lined up, youngest to oldest. And we did the same thing again at the family reunion. It was fun. We had a good time. Anyway, Sue says, hate coffee or tea. Yuck. Barbara says, I have a baby quail. I helped out of the egg. Now it's not doing well. Any tips? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if I have any good suggestions. I don't ever help birds out of the egg. I kind of just let nature take its course. I kind of feel like survival of the fittest. That's kind of a natural way of calling out the weaker ones. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's anything that you can do for it. Chances are, if it couldn't make it out of the egg, there was something wrong with it anyway, a developmental issue, maybe who knows. But for some reason, it didn't make it out of the egg on its own. It's probably not going to be the healthiest bird ever. Maybe a good idea to go ahead and call. I hate to say that, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. They don't usually do good. And you definitely probably don't want to pass on those genetics to other, to breed that bird and pass its genetics on later on anyway. So you can try to nurse it and just keep it warm and fed and watered and see if it recovers. But one thing I would suggest is if you're having this, I don't know, well, let me back up. One thing I would say, okay, if you are having that issue fairly frequently, or even if you're not, if this was a late hatching bird, I'm guessing it was, because that's usually the ones that have the issues, whether it be splayed legs or wry neck or, trouble getting out of the eggs or any of those kinds of things, then it may be an indicator that your incubator is off just a little bit. It may not be, though. I mean, if you had most of your birds, all of your birds hatch out at one time, and then you had this one straggler, that may not be any big issue, but it could be something to take a look at, and it's easy enough to verify. Get wait till your hatch is completely done, clear it out, get two. I always say get two thermometers, whatever kind you want. Don't get digital. Stay away from digital. Make sure they're calibrated and they're accurate. Look up how to calibrate a thermometer. It's pretty simple. You can find it. And then put those in your incubator and turn your incubator on and run it for a while. And I always say get two thermometers, because you can verify. That gives you 3 places to verify: your incubator itself and the 2 thermometers. If you only have one and it reads different than the incubator, well, you don't know if it's the incubator or the thermometer that's off. But if you have 3, if any 2 of those read the same temperature, they're probably right. You may find that your incubator is off just by a degree or 2. So it may say 99, but it's actually only 97. And if that's the case, you just need to adjust it a little bit, find out where 99.9 degrees is or whatever, and then you'll know from that point going forward. It may not be a big continuing issue. I hope it's not. But 12 Gauge says, I don't drink coffee either. Yeah, I never have. It's just not my deal. Linda says, Ma2 means everyone's second mother. Okay. Says, I'm a pastor. Ma2 is what they call me. Oh, awesome. Okay. That makes sense then. I didn't know that. Verna says, Chris, I don't drink soda. You're probably better off. You're probably better off not drinking soda. It's probably terrible for me, but I do. I'm a soda pop junkie. I've said this before, that most people my age have a beer belly, most guys anyway. I have a soda pop belly. 12 Gauge says, I'm a Coca-holic. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Sue says, diet pop only, diabetic. Oh, I feel sorry for you. I cannot do artificial sweeteners. They're just horrible to me. I can't do diet drinks. All right, Richie says, question. Hi, Chris. What do you put in your quail cage for a solid base? Also, is Timothy hay good for quail? Thanks. I don't know that they'll eat Timothy hay. It's not bad for them if you want to put it in there for like some kind of bedding or something. It's going to get nasty and filthy, and you're going to have to clean it out pretty regularly. I've never tried to give my quail hay, so I don't even know if they'd eat it. I don't know that I don't even know that it's worth doing, because like I said, it's going to get nasty pretty quick. What I use in my quail hutches, half of it is a solid bottom. It's got a piece of plywood underneath the hutch, and it's filled with sand. So they have a big sandbox to get in. The big benefit about a sandbox is they spend a lot of time in the sandbox. They love the sandbox. They get in there and kick around, do dust baths in it, all kinds of things. And they lay almost all their eggs in the sandbox, which means I get really clean eggs. The eggs almost never have anything stuck to them. They're just almost always pristine, clean eggs. Super easy to deal with. Katrina says, I don't drink much soda either, and I stir most of the bubbles out when I do. Okay, so I'm weird. Yeah, that's kind of weird, but that's okay. Kitten Son says, Barbie, your baby quail might have lost blood if you helped it out of the egg. Sometimes you can accidentally puncture a blood vessel in the egg. The chick will be weak. That could be true. Yeah, absolutely. Katrina says, I put 2 of those totes together and it works great. I don't know what you mean when you say you put 2 of them together. Did you cut them and tape them together or something? Is that what you're saying? That might be cool. I don't know. G. Michael says, it looks like a 60 quart tote. Yeah, it probably is. That's probably about right. Jana, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Says, what are some common eye problems, if any, for quail other than the pecked out eyes from other quail? I have a couple of quail with only one eye. The eye is kind of puffy. That sounds like they've been pecked. I mean, that's the most common thing you're going to find with that is quail pecking. When they start fighting, a lot of times they'll focus on the face and they'll go for around the eyes. And that's almost a sure tell sign. What you're going to see is they don't necessarily lose their eyes. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times it just swells up and it looks real puffy. But that sounds like, especially if they're missing any feathers around their face, around the back of their heads, any of those kinds of things, it's probably aggression from the other birds. I wouldn't say there's any really common eye issues. I mean, they can get eye infections like any other animal. There's also quail pox that they could get that tends to show up around the eyes, but those are not necessarily common issues. I've never had issues with any of that stuff. If you have eye issues, it's almost always aggression from other birds, in my opinion, or my experience. Jenna goes on to say, I'm not sure if the eyes were pecked or not. They didn't fight and aren't aggressive that I observe. Yeah, it probably is aggression. And chances are they're over it now. They're just establishing a pecking order. A lot of times you just leave them alone. That eye will heal up just fine. You won't have any problems. I've had birds that lost an eye and then never had any more problems with them. And they were fine. They got along just fine. It wasn't that big of a deal in the end. All right. Stephanie says part of the process is accepting not all always make it. Yeah, unfortunately it is. That's part of the process of raising quail, or any animal for that matter, is it sometimes they're not going to make it. You just got to have to deal with that. Mon's Family Homestead says, so glad I found your channel, Chris. We're starting our first Coturnix quail, and you have many great ideas we're going to use. Well, thank you. Says, thanks, brother, and Merry Christmas to a brother in Christ. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you found the channel, too. Always glad to have other people here with us, and thanks for joining the live broadcast and letting me know. Looks like Coturnix Corner's leaving, or probably has already left. I'm probably way behind. But he says, night, everyone. Have a wonderful Christmas and a new year. You too, if you're still around, Terry. We will see you soon, hopefully. Stephanie says, let it die on its own time, talking about the quail that you helped out. Yeah, you could do that for sure. You could just call it yourself. If it's really suffering, sometimes I find it, I don't really want to see the birds suffer. If it's just kind of maybe having a little bit of a hard time, yeah, you may just give it some time and see how it does. All right. Barbara says, thank you all so much. Well, you're welcome. I don't know if I helped you or not, but hopefully I did. Gary's leaving. Good night, Gary. See you next time. Katrina says calibratable thermometers are helpful. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure when you're looking for a thermometer, I don't know if Zach's still in here, but he has some thermometers that he's suggested. I don't remember what they are. Let's see. I don't know if he's still in here, but if he is, he might be able to give you a suggestion on a good thermometer. Me personally, I just go to the Walmart or wherever and just buy a meat thermometer. Make sure it's by calibratable. It's going to have a nut on the back of the thermometer that you can twist to adjust it. That's how you calibrate it. I mean, there's more to it than that. You put it in boiling water, take the temperature reading, put it in ice water, take temperature reading, do some math, figure out if it's reading accurate or not. And then you adjust it accordingly. It's not that complex. Look it up on YouTube. You'll find a video. It'll be it's pretty easy, but it's a little more complex math. I can't remember it right offhand exactly how to do it. I have to think about it for a little while, so I can't explain it right now. But make sure that the thermometer that you get will read at 100 degrees and below. Because a lot of meat thermometers their readings don't start until like 200 degrees. And that doesn't help you out. You need it to be able to read 100 degrees and below. All right. Sue says, wait. Silverback stacker. My New Zealand was bred 32 days ago. She made a nest in the nest box and pulled only a tiny amount of hair. How long should I give her before calling this a failed pregnancy? I'd give her till about day 36, somewhere around in there, before I'd call it a failed pregnancy. You never know. Sometimes they're just late in having the babies. Sue says, 2 liters of Pepsi a day is why I'm diabetic. LOL, be careful. Yeah, I know. I'm probably heading that way too. Ed Got Bait says, I'm a waterholic or milk. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's probably way better. I used to drink like a gallon of milk a day. That was a long time ago. But I still like milk. I just don't drink that much of it anymore. Katrina says, cut the tape and the totes. Oh, yeah. Cut and tape the totes together with painter's tape. Gives them more room. That makes sense. It's a good idea. Usually what I end up doing, like, it's wintertime right now, so I'm going to have to keep these guys in the brooder box for a little longer than I normally would, probably up to about 5 weeks old. So, and there's like 38 of them in there. So that's fine for like 3-4 weeks, but probably 3 weeks, honestly. But by about 3 weeks, it's starting to get pretty crowded in there. So what I'll probably do is set up the other brooder and I'll just split them up. So I'll have half in one brooder, half in the other brooder for a little while. Freedom Quail Farm, how are we doing on time? Oh my gosh, we're getting close. Freedom Quail Farm says, quail eat the hay. I only give it to them during a storm to keep them happy and into corners for their egg nest, but it does get dirty. They love it. Mine have gone broody several times having hay. Well, there you go. Learn something new every day, don't you? Yeah, I'd be worried about it getting moldy too. If it gets wet, then there's a good chance it's going to mold. But hey, you probably know better than I do because I've never tried it. Jasmine says, what sides do you cut the hole in, Katrina, and what size hole? I think what she's doing is she's cutting the side completely off. So like one of the narrow sides, you know, you've got the wide and the narrow. I think she's probably cutting the narrow side off of both of them, sliding them together, and then taping them. That way you've got an extra long brooder, basically, is what she's having. Or I guess you could just tape them together and cut a big doorway hole in there. That might work too. That might be actually easier. I don't know. Juanita says, hello, I live in Florida now. Well, awesome. I'm not sure how to respond to that. I don't know if that was a, comment to something else or not. But anyway, Paula Wells, good to see you, Paula. Says, popping in to say Merry Christmas to you both. Well, Merry Christmas to you as well. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, I was reading a comment to somebody else. Okay, Linda, I got a mixed family of quail from My Shire Farms, and the females kicked the males' butt. I'll try to put them back together soon. Yeah, that's pretty common. Usually, if you get aggressive birds, I find it's almost always the hens, but they'll usually get over it pretty quick. Oh, there you go. Katrina's got it. GOVEE is the thermometer that Katrina or that Zach was suggesting. Thank you, Katrina. I appreciate that. Sue says, can you guys in the States ship eggs to Canada legally? I don't know the answer to that one. That would be another question for Zach if he's still here. Or whoever else sells eggs here. I assume you can, but I don't know, honestly. Maybe not. Adriana says, I had just started a flock of 5, and unfortunately I only have 3 now. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if there was more to that story above that I've forgotten already. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, it's just sometimes those things happen. But the good thing is it's fairly easy to rebuild fairly quickly. So, hang in there. Adriana says, they took out my only male. I don't know if I should. Oh, there we go. There's more to it. I should just replace him or take out the female and find who's the bully. You're saying like they actually killed the only male that you had. Yeah, I would look for the bully and try to, get that one out of your flock for sure. But definitely try to replace that male if you can. Now, keep in mind, you're probably going to get some fighting when you bring a new male in. So, if you only got 3 birds, you can probably get a male and a hen. If you can get them from somebody that, if you're not going to be incubating eggs for getting adult birds, get a male and a hen if you can, and take 1 or maybe 2 of your existing birds and move them in with those and let them get acquainted first before you mix the other one in with them. So you don't have 3 birds ganging up on 2. It's kind of more of an even thing. And if you can put them in a new environment altogether, a new cage for all of them, that would be even better. So Jasmine says, I love using the Taylor meat thermometer that you suggested on the Calibrate Incubator video, Chris. I taught my 13-year-old brother how to calibrate his Hovabator with your video, and he loved it. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that you found that helpful. Jennifer says, I'm hatching my first breeder set for sale to another newbie. I've asked him to watch your videos while waiting for them. You helped me so much to start out. Well, thank you so much for the recommendation there. I appreciate that. And Laura Shell Farms, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Much health and everyone for the new year. Thank you. Same to you. I hope that you have a great Christmas and a good Happy New Year as well. Freedom Quail Farm. I've never had the hay get moldy, but I've always switched it out every 2 to 3 days to keep it clean. Yeah, that seems like it would probably be a pretty good process to follow. Jasmine says, thanks for all your time, Chris. Have a wonderful Christmas. Good night, everyone, and Merry Christmas. This community is the best and my favorite. Grateful for you all. I think so too, Jasmine. It is a great community all the way around. We have a lot of good people here, and not just here, My Shire, Katernick's Corner, Whiskey Tango Farms, all of us together, and the people that watch all those videos, we are all very much a big community, and I am very thankful for it as well. And thank you. Merry Christmas to you. 12 gauge. I sell eggs on Amazon, but not shipped to Canada. Never checked the legality of it. Just don't choose to deal with customs. Too slow. I know I can ship eggs to Hawaii. Okay, there you go. Katrina says, thanks for all the information and good conversations. Have a good holiday. Thank you, you too. Good night to you, Jeff. Good to see you. Robbie says, I live in Canada, Nova Scotia. We'll be shipping eggs in the spring. Well, there you go. You have a local supplier there, maybe. Adriana says, thank you so much. I appreciate your response and help me with my questions. Have a Merry Christmas. You're absolutely welcome. Merry Christmas to you as well. Sue says, if the incubator says for reptile, is it okay for quail? Probably. I mean, it's not really, it's more, I mean, as long as it incubates at the right temperature, 100 degrees, basically. Oh, cannot ship to Hawaii, says 12 gauge. Oh, can't ship to Hawaii. Interesting. And Merry Christmas to you, John. I'm running over time on it. Yeah, I'm 5 minutes over. I got to wrap this one up. The comments keep coming. I have a hard time moving away, but let's one more. Bobby says, been following you lately. Much useful information. Thanks. Currently have 6 males and 5 females. Much to learn. Well, thankfully, it's not too complicated. Hopefully, you are finding the videos helpful. Thank you for watching them. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I got to wrap this one up for tonight. We've been on here for an hour. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? Thank you all for joining me on the live broadcast. Thanks for coming back every week. I appreciate that. I am working on getting back to answering comments on the regular videos. I know I've been terrible about that for a while now. I'm going to try to get back into the habit of doing that. So thank you guys for being patient with me. I appreciate that. And with that one, we're going to end this one. Merry Christmas to all of you. We will see you guys after the holiday. And I hope it works. I hope everybody has a great Christmas. And as always, God bless. Good night.